There is a place beneath my house, and it's why it lies the mouse and at the time.
Because it's actually freezing.
Hello, this is Ryan, and I'm just going to go over a little pre-inspection of my gear for the Appalachian Trail. I'll be leaving March 22nd, 2014. My gear is coming in just under 40 pounds, not an ultra lightweight system, but I think a mix between a light system and a comfortable system. Some of the gear will be new to me and to the trail. I'll be trying it out. It may or may not make the final cut. So not all of these are recommendations of what to take, just something to give you an idea of what you might try, some of the things you need, and some of the things that will help you along your way. Over 90% of the people on the Appalachian Trail through hiking it are using poles. I've been using them recently. I hadn't used them prior. I'm enjoying them, and they were super helpful on a hike up Mount Humphreys to High Point. I'm taking the Lecky cork lights. One, because the name comes with reliability. They're also a nice lightweight pole. I am using the rubber tips to help reduce some of the wear that the Appalachian Trail sees from its over 3 million hikers a year. In the video I wanted to include some of the other things I haven't seen in some of the videos out there. Little things you'll need, like a bag to get there. I'm going to be using a couple of REI duffels. I use them extensively and have for traveling. I've got a small one for some of my clothes that I'll use in Atlanta prior to the mountain. Also a fresh clean change of clothes for after I get off of the trail. And to take my food. I'm using an extra large REI duffel because I do use an external frame pack, so it doesn't air travel as well. The entire pack and my sleeping bag do fit in this extra large bag, and I can check that on the way to Atlanta. Also note, you'll probably want to put some fuel line stabilizer in your car unless it's going to be used while you're gone, if you're parking it there or leaving it home. I'll start with the sleeping systems. For the winter segment, I will be using a Kelty 15 degree bag. I feel it's keeping me nice and warm. I've had it forever. It's a synthetic. I definitely could have gone lighter, but I have the bag. It's a good bag. I wasn't going to spend the extra money. I'm sure that'll probably change as I continue to work on my Triple Crown, but the AT being an easier trail, having more accessibility to different gear shops along the way, I figure I can tweak my system now. Little heavy, coming in at about 4 pounds, but super warm, super comfortable, and I'm probably only carrying it 30-35 days. Since I do use an external frame pack, it goes on the outside. I went ahead and used a Seal Line Baja 20-liter bag. Figure no harm, a couple extra ounces over another stuff sack, or maybe a stuff sack and a trash bag, but it'll be awful nice if I'm soaked all day to sleep in a nice warm dry bag. Another part of my sleep system will be my sleep pad. It is a closed cell. It's a ridge rest. I actually think this is a ridge rest before it was bought out by Thermarest. I've had the same for over 20 years probably. It's great, it's beat up, but it's comfortable, keeps me warm. I don't have to worry about punctures, repairs, or deflating my mattress in the morning. Just roll it up, throw it on top of my pack. I am using an external frame bag. It's an old Kelty. Again, I've had this thing since I was probably 13, seen lots of trail years. I prefer external frame, just sits on my hips a little better, easier for me to pack, cooler, and really helps me distribute the weight well. Strapped to the outside, I've got my little Thermarest Z-Lite seat for snowy or wet conditions. Give me somewhere dry to put my bum. I have used it a couple times doing some snowshoeing. It's been nice to have somewhere warm to sit. Inside the flap of my Kelty, I have a Right in the Rain journal with a Right in the Rain pad. Also a Trekker pen. It's a Fisher Space pen, so I'll be able to write. I'm a big writer. I like to journal. I'll have that on me. In here is some of my paper information. I'm using mileage guide as opposed to a topographical map to find my way along the trail since it's so well marked. That is in here. The points I may be stopping at if I keep my 15-mile-a-day pace are also marked in here by date, just to give me a rough outline so people can ship resupply or meet me on the trail. To help me navigate and go with that mileage marker, because I don't know how well the different camping sites and such are going to be, I've got a GoSmart Omron pedometer. I'm also a geek for metrics, so it'll be nice to see how many miles I'm traveling, how many steps I'm taking. I'll keep a nice tally to see if it really is those 5 million steps that they say. I've got a pack towel. I've seen people say that handkerchiefs are maybe a better way to go. Not quite sure what the difference is, other than a pack towel drying a little easier and not being able to use it to move hot pans because it's synthetic, but I've got a pan handle for that. In my front exterior pocket where it's accessible, I have a nice wool buff to help add some extra temperature on those cool days. I also have some icebreaker liners, again wool. Usually what I use throughout the winter, regardless of what I'm doing. If it starts to get too wet or too cold, I do have some mitten shells I'll get to eventually. For my shell, I've got this Columbia jacket. I'll go ahead and leave it folded. If you want to see descriptions or weights of any of this information or the full brand names, you can visit my blog. I've got all the information there, and I'll try to attach a link at the end of this. The shell level is just something to keep the wind off me, keep some of the rain off of me. It's a little heavier than one of the other rain jackets I had prior to this. And I did that on purpose because the other one was kind of water resistant. This is held up to Irish rain and wind for days on end, so I'm pretty sure it'll hold up on AT. And I have a Mountain Smith pack cover also to help keep my equipment dry. I've got a homemade fuel canister here. I'll be using denatured alcohol. Also have a funnel to help pour that denatured alcohol into my fuel can. It's 32 liters, which will get me through more than my longest resupply, but I'd rather have extra volume in the container than not enough and not be able to make it. I've got my trowel. Everyone knows what these are for. A number of ultra lightweight hikers are not taking trowels. I highly recommend a trowel. A trowel and a first aid kit are two things you should leave. They say use your hand or your boots to dig. I think they either haven't done it a lot and had possible hand injuries while digging into the dirt, or it's all of that toilet paper I see floating around buried under about a ½ inch of dirt. So dig a nice trench and utilize that. We've got 3 million people on the trail. Got a small 13-gallon trash bag for my food packaging. Hopefully I'll be dumping it out regularly where it's available, but I definitely don't want to leave any trash on the trail. I'm taking 550 cord. I'm ex-military. We always take it on us. I can use it for bear bags, replacement shoe laces. Not particularly heavy. I know there's lighter options, but I also know that this will hold up to anything I need it to hold up to. My other external pocket, I have snacks and then an extra bag to start to rehydrate my dinners a few hours before making them, so that all I really need to do once I get to camp is heat them up. Went ahead and got a Phoenix flashlight and their headband kit. It just gives me a lot of versatility. It's over 100 lumens, so super bright, but can also be used at 5 different levels. down to 40 lumens, which I'll probably leave it on to save battery. I can also pull it off to use it as a flashlight, or use it on the headband as a headlight. I have a diffuser in my tech duty bag, so I can also use it as a nice lantern in the tent in the evenings. Again, geek for metrics, so I've got a thermometer. Nice washcloth, so I can wash my face and underarms when I get the chance, and take those couple of showers I'm scheduled for in those 5 months. Got my double wall stainless steel cup because I like a decent warm cup of coffee in the morning, and it's just one of those luxuries that makes me feel more like I'm at home. My bison bracelet, it's got a little knife in it, little flint in it. I like to wear bracelets, I also think it's pretty cool. Has 550 cord if I need it, but more of apparel than anything else. I've got a platypus bag with a Sawyer inline filter. This will be the non-potable water, so this will be my dirty water. I can drink straight through the hydration system, the platypus on-off valve, or I can press filter into another platypus I have in my interior pocket to carry extra water. I'm from the desert and a liter doesn't cut it here in the desert, so I have the capacity for almost 4 liters of water. Again, probably won't really use that much, but I'd rather have the volume if I want it than not. In my bottom pack of the bag, I have my hygiene kit. Super light from Eagle Creek, easy to pull out. I've got fingernail clippers and tweezers inside a bag just to protect my ditty sack from sharp edges. I've got my Dr. Bronner's soap, brush with bamboo toothbrush, super lightweight, comb for my beard as it gets unruly, also to help look for ticks, some waxed floss. I'm not really a big flosser, but helpful for a lot of things if I need to do any gear repairs, just a handy little line to have. Stainless steel polished mirror, toothpaste, chapstick, calendula for cuts and scrapes, and earplugs for in the shelters, so I can get a decent night's sleep even if we have snorers abounding. We've got toilet paper and a Ziploc. I didn't pull out the center core. Everybody says to pull out center core. I think it's got to weigh 0.3 ounces. Again, first aid kit, much like the trowel, please don't go into the woods without it. I see some people recommending either not taking one or taking a very minimal one. It's one of those things hopefully I won't get into, but if I need to, I'm going to be happy to have it. And when those people who forgot theirs need it, I'm sure they'll be super happy that I have it as well. Don't want to really carry it for them, so please take your own anytime you're into the woods. Got an ultralight pair of runners, Saucony or Saucony, I'm not sure the right way to say that, I've heard it both. Together they weigh just over 6 ounces. It'll be for river crossings, camp shoes. They'll dry quickly and don't take much weight or much room in my bag. While I'm talking about that, I do have a full-size carabiner. Again, it's just something I always carry on my pack. It'll hold my weight, but mostly it'll be used for either bear bagging it or hanging my shoes to dry off of my pack. My boonie cap, I always take that. It's nice to keep those sun and or rain off of my head. This is my cold weather ditty. It's a seal line, water resistant bag. In it I'll be taking a 3/4 length zip fleece. This is a 100 weight. That'll go under my shell layer. Tried it out a number of times. Keeps me warm, even down into the 20s and 30s with decent wind. I'm taking gaiters just to keep some of the mud and snow, potential mud and snow, out of my boots while I'm hiking. They're a nice lightweight pair, no longer available, but the equivalent is out there, I'm sure. Since I'm only taking shorts, it'll also, if we get windy or super cold, help provide some insulation for my legs. I've got my Outdoor Research Peruvian hat. Warmest, probably best made cold weather hat I have ever found. Wear it in a couple of different ways. Has performed magnificently. And like I said, some Outdoor Research shells in case it starts to get wet or super windy and my liners just aren't holding up. I'll mail all that back once I get to the base of Mount Rogers. My winter gear, switching over to summer gear, will save me about 8 pounds, so that'll be a nice break. Speaking of summer gear, I'll be taking this Kelty 40-degree bag. It's a nice down, super light, packs down about just bigger than a softball. Really comfortable. I've actually tried it down to just over 20 degrees, and inside my tent stayed toasty warm. And another seal line bag for my food. Work great as a bear bag, also to keep my food dry, and I like them separate and organized. For my tent, I'm using an Eureka Apex Solo. Single person, super lightweight. By my standards, my regular tent's 8 pounds. Cozy, comfortable. Again, got to try it out in some very cold weather. Held up well. Huge rain fly on this thing. I know there's lighter, but there's definitely not lighter at this price. For my mess kit, I've got MSR Blacklight non-stick aluminum. Took most of the pots and pans out of it. I'll be taking the lid as well as the medium pot. Got a nice little flint here. Only weighs I think less than an ounce. Provides enough spark to light my alcohol stove. Nice to have a secondary source of flame. I'm taking a lighter too. And I just like hiking with a flint, one of those emergency things. Nice pan scrubber, just to kind of wipe out food items after I'm done. It doesn't even register, much like the washcloth, doesn't even register as weight on my scale. I'm taking a Goyate, I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, Goyate Design Microbite spork and knife/spatula. I have peanut butter and coconut oils and such. It'll be nice to have the spatula with me. Comes with a little container and the pot holder. Another MSR item, just a little pot scraper and brush. Help me clean up without using any water. Help me conserve water. And then a nice alcohol stove. This thing's a beauty. I was kind of reluctant to get started with one. I've got to use it a lot. I think it works as good as my old white gas stove and weighs about 3 ounces, fits into my pot, and has no parts to break, which was the fate of my last stove and a sad cold dinner that evening. Got my clothing ditty. Most of these I will have on. They're in the bag for travel, and I also like to weigh the bag as heavy as I can to see what potentially it could be like. I've I'd rather weigh the maximums than be surprised by the minimums. I'm using chili pepper skins as a base layer. The pants will go under my shorts during the cold weather. I've got icebreaker, wool shirts. I've got a t-shirt. And then a hoodie long sleeve. Wear during the colder weather. I'll be using Prana shorts. Super comfortable, very durable. I always hike with liners, so I've got the Fox River liners. I've got 2 pair, just to let one rest a little. I figure I'll burn through a lot of these. And I've got 2 pair of darn tough wool socks, boot socks. These things have a lifetime guarantee. If I burn through them, I can get more. I imagine I'll go through a few more pair of these while on the trail. Having 2 sets lets me let one rest and dry out, and ideally get washed and dry out while I wear the other one. I'm trying some ex officio boxers and briefs. I've used a lot of these for my hiking or high pointing. I've not really traveled long distances under pack with them, so I'll see if I prefer boxers or briefs. They're antimicrobial and odor resistant. This is my clean water platypus bag that'll be packed close to my back. Brings us to my tech ditty bag. I'm a tech guy. Some people love to unplug while they're out hiking. I'm not very plugged in here anyways, so I don't have much to escape from, but I do have a lot I want to keep in touch with. I plan on blogging while I'm traveling, so I'm going to try out a Bluetooth keyboard. It's been super fun to use. It's a lot easier than using my thumbs. It is kind of heavy, about 11 ounces, so we'll see if the ease it brings me is worth the weight that it provides. I've got an extra lock sack for my phone. I'll be using a Droid phone for blogging, staying in touch, secondary photos, backup batteries for my camera. It's a Sony Alpha Nex T5. It's what I'm using to film right now. All my camera gear together with a bag, flash. We're weighing in just over a pound. So I'm happy to have it. I do want to take good photos and more video along the way. It's probably more gear than I planned. I was just going to take the phone, but hard to beat this one. The Sony Alpha will send pictures from itself to my phone so I can upload them without the use of a cable. It'll send them, it provides its own Wi-Fi. Wasabi power charger for the extra camera batteries. I will be taking a phone charger. I want to try this out. I'll have this solar panel on my pack, with my phone plugged into it and off during the day. Nice and lightweight. The batteries, 2 A batteries in it, provide most of the weight. Panels are flexible. A lot of people said that they're not super helpful. It is the green tunnel, but I like to find things out for myself. If it works, it'll be brilliant. If it doesn't work, it'll get shipped at the foot of Mount Rogers. Antelope case for extra AA batteries. And that makes up my gear. Like I said, with the food, water, and fuel, I'll be weighing in just over 40 pounds in my winter configuration. So hopefully down to about 35-40 pounds on my summer. I'll be resupplying every 5 to 13 days, I think, is my longest. I'm not really doing this to spend a lot of time in towns. I want to spend a lot of time in the woods. I also want to get home. So I hope any of this was helpful. Again, hike your own hike. If you want to go ultralight or you want to use this gear, remember, try to stay under 25% of your body weight and try your pack out and your gear out before you hit the trail. Safe travels to you, and I will see you on the Appalachian.
Go.
S-U-S.